Hi everyone and welcome to the second module. This is a module on structures. I'm going to go through the module with you, but before I do so, just a couple of things. I'm going to go back to the course information documents. This is like the most important thing in the class is that you read all of these carefully. So many of you came down to the end here in your next steps and you sent me an email. That's great. But I got about 7 emails before somebody told me that this link wasn't working, which I found concerning because you really shouldn't have been all the way at the bottom on your next steps until you have watched everything in here. The welcome video shows you how to navigate the course, talks about all the policies in the course, everything that's important in the course, and you need to watch that. Secondly, the other thing that's in the course information documents is this academic integrity assignment. At NCCC this semester, if you do not complete this, and all you have to do is click on it and answer one question on census date, which is in about 2 weeks, you will be deleted, you'll be removed from the course. That's a new policy. It has to do with attendance, and that's how NCCC is checking this attendance. So about half of you did not complete that activity, and you need to do so as soon as possible. Okay, so back to our second module on structures. If you're watching this, you've already clicked on this because this is the video link. And as always, there's a module at a glance, and you can read through this. It's important to note this information is in Chapter 7 of the textbook. Chapter 7 covers first classes and then structures. Structures are similar classes but easier, so I like to cover them first. So in this module, we're just covering the information at the end of Chapter 7 on structures. You should be following along in the textbook and reading the textbook as you go through all of the activities. So you can read through here, and there's always a link to the course schedule. In the second module of every course, our e-learning department puts an e-learning student questionnaire, so I'm hopeful that you can answer that to help improve online learning at NCCC. Okay, in the lecture and activities, I start off having you get enrolled in our section of My Programming Lab. Please do that as soon as possible in case there's any problems. If you took CPS 120 last semester, we started using the 9th edition of the textbook, and your textbook, your code, everything's still good for 1 year. So you could just follow these instructions to get into the new section of My Programming Lab. If you did not, you can follow the instructions that are in this folder. There is a new textbook edition. Your code's not going to work. If you want, you can email me, okay? And then you can go through here. I have a link on how to run the sample programs in this folder because all of these programs I'm demonstrating are attached. So you should be downloading and running them yourselves. Okay, so these are all the lectures and activities, and at the end, there's some checkpoint questions from the textbook that you should answer, and then you can just click here to check your answers. Okay, assignment number 2, two-part assignment. The first part of the assignment is here. It's from the end of Chapter 7. And I'm going to check this page. I might have to update that. But these are the only questions you need to answer. After the due date, a solution file will appear here, and you should come out and compare your submission to the solution file to see what you did right and what you did wrong. Doing that will really help improve your quiz grades in this course. The second part of the assignment is in My Programming Lab. When you log on to Chapter 7, you'll just see questions on structures, and those are the only ones that need to be completed. I want to talk a little bit about My Programming Lab. A big thing to being a good programmer is practice, and that's what My Programming Lab does. I know a couple of the questions, are worded a little poorly, but just try and hang in there with it. I don't assign all questions. I just assign the questions that I think are important for you to do. Okay. Um, and sorry, just our discussion for this module is going to be in Blackboard, not on VoiceThread. So if you go in this folder, you'll see a few rules for Blackboard, and then you can read the discussion here and click in the link to participate. Please note you're required to post a discussion response, and you're required to post a response to another student. That's all part of your grade. Okay, and project 2 is here. I've created 2 videos for you, so make sure you watch them before you proceed to the project. The project is rather long. Don't wait till the last minute. It's going to take you a while to complete. It has a lot of parts to it. You are going to be creating a structure, creating some structure variables, and you're going to be writing some functions. You don't have to write the whole program and pile a bunch of code in at once. You can create the structure, create the variables, maybe, just write one function to have the user enter the information and then just display the information. Just simple. Read it in, display it out, and then once you get that part working, you can come down here and worry about displaying movie recommendations based on how many stars. This will require an if-else-if statement. So also please read about the documentation that's required at the top here, your name at the top of the program, an explanation of the program at the top, and comments prior to each function definition explaining the purpose of the function. Okay. When you click on the project, you'll also see a rubric here, and I believe you see it in my grades. So you can always click on the rubric and you can see exactly what it is that I'm grading your code on. What if it doesn't compile? You can see how many points that's worth. What if you don't include documentation? You can see what that's worth. So always make sure that you're checking that as well. Okay, our quizzes are going to be over here in the quizzes link. I'm going to give you 2 days to complete the quizzes. That was probably the biggest feedback I got last semester. You didn't like taking it on one assigned day, so you'll have 2 days. But remember, once you take it, once you start it, you have to finish it. You can't go back to it. So if it works better for one day on your schedule than another, you have the ability to take that when you prefer. Quizzes. The first folder is open, and it just tells you there's a brief review document with topics. There's a practice quiz. It's only going to be open till Monday, February 6th. Sorry, it will close when the actual quiz opens. And this tells you, your quiz is going to be open Tuesday and Wednesday. And you can go into here. I'm going to try and just leave this open now. The quiz review document, the practice quiz, and how to view the practice quiz results. So make sure that you take the practice quiz before it closes. Don't wait till the last minute to take your quiz. Last semester, I would say probably 50% of the class or more we're taking the quiz between 10 p.m. and midnight. Now you have 2 full days. That's crazy. If you have a problem, you can contact me, but if you contact me at 11 p.m. the day it's due, I'm probably not going to be able to answer because I might be asleep. Okay? Let's go over here to the calendar. All right, we have our dates. For both parts of the assignment. This is the initial post for the discussion. The response is due here. The project you can see is due here. The quiz will open on the 7th and it's due by the 8th. Okay, so work on that project early. Very important. Make sure that you have completed the NCCC Academic Integrity Policy. Make sure you take the time to watch the welcome video because it tells you a lot of information. Um, I spend a lot of time on these videos. I create them new every time I teach the course to try and help you. So please watch them. Okay? Any questions, let me know.